Question 5 is from Mark Gallagher in Kilkenny, and Mark asks, could the European Court of Justice under Lisbon ever cause the legalisation of abortion in Ireland? Dr. Gavin Barrett, let's go to you on that one.
Absolutely not. The matter has been regulated since the time of the coming into force of the Treaty of Maastricht by a special protocol, which means that Irish law in that regard, as guaranteed by Article 43.3 of the Irish Constitution, cannot be interfered with by any way by European Union law. That was the way before the Treaty of Lisbon comes into force, and it remains the way after the treaty, or remains the situation after the Treaty of Lisbon comes into force. There isn't an iota of a change in that regard, thanks to the Treaty of Lisbon.
Kieran Allen, do you agree?
Well, unlike some of the hypocritical people who pretend to be very progressive and liberal and all European, I actually think a woman has a right to choose. I think it's a shocking state of affairs in Ireland in the 21st century that women have to go to Britain for abortion. And in line with my previous argument, because the Charter of Fundamental Rights doesn't give you any extra right, of course it's not going to give you a right to choose in this country, because all the EU is interested in essentially is the needs of business and building a war, and it's not going to protect women's rights to this extent that will give you the right to choose.
All right, Laurent Pech, could the European Court of Justice under Lisbon, could they ever cause the legalisation or recommend the legalisation of abortion in Ireland?
No, clearly not. I will have to repeat what my colleague Dr. Barrett said earlier. We have a legally binding protocol protecting Irish constitutional law from any challenge under EU law regarding abortion. So each member state is actually entitled to ban abortion within its borders. It does not violate EU law now. It won't violate EU law if the Lisbon Treaty is ratified.
Richard Boyd Barrett.
Well, I mean, just to the point, yes, we accept that there's a protocol that protects the state ban on abortion. And but for those that have looked to Europe as a way of bringing in progressive legislation and who would like to see the right to choose, this is, proof, if you like, you're not going to get that change.
But just assuming that the person who asked this question is coming from the other perspective, that they don't want to see, I suppose, as they would put it, abortion foisted on Ireland, that's not going to happen under Lisbon.
No, it's not going to happen. I mean, the only thing you can say is that, and this wouldn't concern me if it happened on that issue, because I'd like to see women have the right to choose on whatever basis it can be achieved. But the only thing you can say, is, although this isn't really a change in Lisbon, but it's sort of further enshrined in Lisbon, is that EU law will take primacy over national law. But in the particular case of abortion, there is a protocol, if you like, that secures the Irish ban on abortion.
OK, quickly, Lauren, if you would, because I think the four of you are actually in agreement on this question. But anyway.
Just to accept a lot of no side or for a woman's right to choose. We haven't heard quite what the yes position is on that one.
All right, your response, and then we'll take the next question.
Critics of the EU tend to complain whenever the EU doesn't actually fit their own particular preferences, but the abortion issue shows that the EU is, at the end of the day, a system of government ruled by the member states. So if you want to preserve national sovereignty, then you should not always complain when a member state actually gets what he wants.
Sorry, I want to respond to that. You see, first of all, my concern is not the question of sovereignty. My concern is the question of rights for ordinary people as against the rights of, if you like, big business and political elites to do things in their interests. And what Lisbon is very good at is tying down very tightly economic rules and a military project which will be enforced on people, but it is useless at actually providing people with extra rights.
I spoke too quickly when I said you were all in agreement. But anyway, why don't we move on to the next question?